Susan Fowler. Why motivating people doesn't work, and what does. More breakthroughs for leading, energizing, and engaging. Have you ever paused to consider what truly drives you in your professional journey? What sparks that fire within you to tackle each day with passion and purpose? It's a thought that often goes unexplored, yet it holds the key to unlocking our fullest potential. After all, in our ever-evolving world of work, it's essential to understand that the traditional notions of motivation might not be as effective as we once thought. So, what if there's a different, more profound way to inspire yourself and those around you? In this blink, we'll dive into the essence of true motivation, exploring concepts that go beyond the simplistic view of rewards and penalties. You'll discover how tapping into the deeper aspects of human psychology can not only transform your approach to leadership, but also enrich your personal growth. Unlocking true motivation. When it comes to motivation, there's a common misconception that dangling the proverbial carrot or brandishing the stick is the key to driving performance. This approach, rooted in external rewards and penalties, has long been the cornerstone of traditional motivation tactics. But this method overlooks a crucial aspect of human behavior, our inherent drive and the psychological needs that fuel it. Let's begin by understanding why the traditional carrots and sticks approach falls short. On the surface, it seems logical. Offer rewards to encourage good behavior and penalties to deter the undesirable. Yet this method fails to tap into the deeper, more sustainable wellspring of motivation that lies within each of us. At its core, true motivation is more about internal fulfillment than external incentives. It's driven by our personal values, passions, and a sense of purpose. Consider the story of Billy Beane, the general manager of the Oakland A's. Despite a highly lucrative offer from the Boston Red Sox, Beane chose to stay with the A's. His decision wasn't informed by the promise of wealth or prestige, but by a deeper commitment to his family and his love for the game. This example beautifully illustrates how intrinsic motivation often outweighs the allure of external rewards. But what exactly fuels this intrinsic motivation? It boils down to three psychological needs: autonomy, relatedness, and competence. Autonomy is our desire to feel in control of our actions, to make choices that resonate with our personal belief system. Relatedness refers to our need to connect with others and feel a sense of belonging. Competence is about feeling capable and effective in the tasks we undertake. The essence of this intrinsic motivation is our desire for self-determination, our need to form meaningful connections, and our urge to feel capable and effective. These elements are fundamental to our drive and happiness. For instance, a high-performing salesperson may derive more satisfaction from the problem-solving aspect of their job than from any financial reward. This satisfaction comes from feeling effective in their role and connecting their values to their work. As leaders or managers, fostering an environment that nurtures these elements is key. This means respecting individual autonomy, setting the stage for strong relationships, and recognizing each person's unique contributions and skills. By encouraging colleagues to infuse personal meaning into their work, and by recognizing their achievements, we can create a more motivated, engaged, and productive team. This approach shifts the focus from external motivation tactics, which may provide short-term results, to a deeper, more sustainable form of motivation. Rethinking the foundations of motivation. All right, let's dive deeper into what really makes motivation tick. It's about understanding and embracing those three fundamental needs that drive us: autonomy, relatedness, and competence. These aren't just theoretical concepts, they're the core pillars that shape our engagement with the world around us. And it turns out these needs interweave to form the backbone of our motivation, impacting everything from our daily choices to our long-term aims and aspirations. Let's start with autonomy. It's that empowering feeling of being in charge of your own choices and actions. Imagine the freedom and satisfaction you experience when you're allowed to steer a project in your unique way, making decisions that resonate with your values and vision. This isn't just about having control, it's about owning your decisions and their outcomes, ensuring that every step you take is genuinely yours. Next, consider relatedness. This is your intrinsic need to connect meaningfully with others. Think about a workplace where every individual feels genuinely seen, not just as colleagues, but as integral members of a community. It's about building a culture of support, understanding, and mutual respect. This relatedness transforms a group of individuals into a cohesive, dynamic team, united by shared goals. Then there's competence, the feeling of being effective and capable in your endeavours. Competence involves growth, mastering new skills, and overcoming challenges. Envision an environment that offers opportunities to learn, develop, and stretch your skills. This isn't just about acknowledging your abilities, it's about challenging them and enabling continuous personal and professional development. So, how can you go about fulfilling your team's psychological needs? First, foster spaces where individual autonomy isn't just respected, but encouraged. For instance, as a leader, you can empower your team members to make decisions that align with their interests and beliefs. Also, focus on nurturing genuine work relationships. Whether it's through team-building activities, open communication channels, or collaborative projects, try to make everyone feel like they belong and that their contributions are appreciated. This not only enhances team dynamics, but also elevates individual motivation. Finally, emphasize the importance of competence by encouraging continuous learning and development. This could be through professional development programs, mentorship opportunities, or simply creating a culture that values and rewards growth and learning. By understanding and supporting people's psychological needs, you can shift the focus from external incentives to helping intrinsic motivation flourish. The dynamic nature of motivation. In the landscape of self-improvement and team management, motivation often appears as a fleeting sentiment, a momentary drive that ebbs and flows. But it makes more sense to think about motivation as a skill, just like learning a new language or mastering an instrument. It's an ability that can be developed, honed, and integrated into both personal and professional spheres. Consider this. What drives you to get up and face each day? Is it ambition, a sense of duty, passion, or something else entirely? Identifying these motivators is crucial in understanding what really pushes you forward. It's about looking inward and recognizing the unique factors that ignite your drive and enthusiasm. Just as every person has their own reasons for waking up in the morning, understanding these personal motivators is the key to unlocking a more fulfilling and purpose-driven life and career. For instance, a project manager might find their drive in the challenge of solving complex problems, while a teacher might be fueled by the joy of nurturing young minds. By identifying these core motivators, you can begin to tailor your environment and tasks to resonate more deeply with these intrinsic drives. The next step involves adapting your motivational outlook, much like an athlete adjusting their technique for peak performance. That means realigning tasks or roles with personal aspirations. A salesperson who views their job merely as a way to earn might shift their perspective to see it as a platform for connecting with people and solving problems, thereby aligning with deeper values of connection and service. This shift in outlook transforms routine tasks into meaningful activities. Developing a skill also means setting up the right environment for it to flourish. In the context of motivation, this translates to cultivating a space where intrinsic motivators are supported. Leaders can play a pivotal role here by promoting autonomy, acknowledging accomplishments, and connecting individual roles to the broader vision of the organization. For example, in a tech company, a team leader can encourage innovation, creativity, and self-directed growth by allowing team members to pursue projects aligned with their interests. Amid these conceptual approaches, there are plenty of actionable steps that you can take to breathe life into the skill of motivation. It's all about applying these insights in daily interactions and tasks. So, if you're leading a team, start by having open conversations about individual motivations and aspirations. Incorporate regular feedback sessions that not only address performance but also focus on personal growth and satisfaction. In terms of your own development, regularly reflect on your activities. Are they aligned with your core values and goals? If not, what small changes can you make to shift your perspective or approach? As you navigate through this exploration of motivation as a skill, the thing to keep in mind is its dynamic nature. It evolves and grows with conscious effort and practice. By understanding, shifting, and creating the right environment for motivation, you can unlock a more engaged, fulfilled, and productive approach to work and life. Fostering intrinsic rewards over external incentives. It's time to dismantle some deep-rooted beliefs that, contrary to popular opinion, hinder rather than help in building a truly motivated workforce. Let's take a look at how we can rethink and reshape our understanding of what truly drives people in the workplace. Often, there's a disconnect between what leaders believe motivates their employees and the actual motivators. Leaders tend to overemphasize external factors like wages and promotions, while employees yearn for more intrinsic rewards such as fulfilling work, opportunities for growth, and learning. Luckily, there are a number of things you can do as a manager to rectify this gap. First, it's crucial to acknowledge and validate the feelings of your team. Rather than dismissing emotions as irrelevant in a professional setting, understanding and addressing them can create a more empathetic and effective workplace. For example, instead of telling someone they shouldn't feel a certain way, acknowledge what they're feeling. This approach lays the foundation for a culture where people feel heard and seen, which in turn can boost motivation and engagement. Another belief that needs rethinking is the notion that the sole purpose of business is to make money. While profitability is undeniably important, it shouldn't overshadow the importance of serving both employees and customers. When the focus shifts from profit to service, it naturally leads to a more dedicated workforce. Say you make it your business's mission to serve clients effectively. Now this can inspire your team to align their work with this value, which in turn might be a way for them to find more meaning and motivation in their roles. It's also essential to understand the dynamic of power in leadership. Power, in its various forms, can significantly affect employees' motivational outlooks. Whether it's reward power, coercive power, or legitimate power, the way you wield it can either support or undermine your team's psychological needs. Instead of relying on power to motivate, focus on empowering your employees so that they feel connected to their work and colleagues. Finally, consider the belief that results are the be-all and end-all of business. While achieving goals is important, how these results are attained matters just as much. Prioritize meaningful results to create a culture that emphasizes not just the outcomes, but the process and the people involved in achieving those outcomes. To Why Motivating People Doesn't Work and What Does, by Susan Fowler, you've learned that true motivation extends beyond the traditional carrots and sticks approach, delving into the intrinsic drives of autonomy, relatedness, and competence. These core psychological needs are vital for fostering genuine motivation, both in personal and professional realms. By acknowledging and validating emotions, and by shifting focus from profit to service, leaders can create environments where intrinsic motivators thrive. This approach not only enhances motivation, but also builds a more engaged and productive workforce.